ScouterStan. Let's talk a little bit about Sea Scouts and their Eagle. That's the equivalent of what the Quartermaster Award is. Now, if you're in a pack or a troop or a crew, don't sign out, okay? Because this is important information. And we should look at all the different divisions with open ears, okay, and an open mind, and think about other things. Even you scout leaders, if it's all troops, don't put blinders on. You got to know what scouts might want to do that it depends, okay? Depends on where your scouts are at. You're there as a resource, so definitely don't tune out. Okay, we had this question. It came up. They want to know more about the Quartermaster's Award. A lot of scouts are in a troop. They might be listed in a Sea Scouts. They might be listed in a crew, or a venture crew. That's the neat thing. There's other divisions. When they get old enough, they can go off to these other things also and do both. That's the neat thing about it. One membership doing two different things. Amazing, okay? So we need to be thinking about achievements they can get wherever they are. So in Sea Scouts, it would be the Quartermaster. Now, briefly, thinking about Sea Scouts, that's the thing. Pirate Pete comes into play again, and this is an inside thing on this channel. But the thing about Sea Scouts is it started back in 1912, not 2 years after the founding of regular Boy Scouts of America was Sea Scouts, and Sea Scouts has been going strong ever since. And the wonderful thing about it is that they do adventures. It's a lot of maritime things, so it's sailing safety and different things that are very mariner varieties. So this is kind of the focus of Sea Scouts. Now, if you want to get more into the different things that are going on with Sea Scouts, definitely check out the video there that tells you a little more about adventures and advancement and all the stuff through Sea Scouts. So definitely check that out. The Quartermaster Award is the highest level you can get in a youth ship, okay, for Sea Scouts. That's the thing about Sea Scouts. When we're talking about a troop, we often just say troop. And when we're talking Sea Scouts, it's usually ship. So that's the highest level that a ship youth can achieve is Quartermaster. Now, one of the unique things about venture crews and, of course, Sea Scouts is that youth goes all the way to 21. So this is a possibility for a lot of scouts that are kind of coming into it kind of late. So that's the reason they should be looking at it. The Quartermaster Award is related in many regards through Sea Scouts. It's related back to like a troop where Eagle Scout or a crew where they have the summit. These are different levels, and the Quartermaster is the top. It's the top level, and that's the thing about the Quartermaster Award. It's achieved over time, and the entire process is actually spelled out in the handbook, the Sea Scout Handbook. If you have a moment, the description actually contains a PDF copy that you can download. If you're curious to what all of the requirements, is very involved. And there's different levels. And we'll get into some of that later on. But to make it equivalent to those other levels, it is just as hard to get that as it is an Eagle Scout. It's just as hard to get Summit. These are very difficult things for youth to do. And they have a period of time to do it. And that's it. When they're no longer a youth, it's over. So that's the important thing. If they're going to go for it, they need to make that commitment and do it. Now, an overview of the requirements is quite simple. You have your standard things that go on with a Sea Scout ship, different ranks that you need to achieve. And they vary from apprentice, ordinary, able, and then quartermaster. Leadership is critical when you are achieving this high level. So being active in the ship is very important, just like it's active in anything in scouting. There's also a service project which showcases leadership. Now this could be something within the ship for a worthy recipient. And that's very similar to the service project that they have for Eagle Scout. The Sea Scout will need to really work hard on skill mastery. And this will include navigation. Being able to navigate at sea is critically important. Boating. Being able to identify everything on the ship. That's really important. Safety. That is an absolute must for anyone achieving this high award. Sailing principles. This is very important. They have to know what sails are needed for the wind. That's very important. Then, of course, you have maritime knowledge. This is really important. At the end, you do have a board of review, and that's a very important thing to go through that process. When you're going for quartermaster, you go through the board of review just like you would if it was Eagle. There are lots of skills that are learned along the way. In Sea Scouts, the focus is maritime adventure. And in so doing, you also come across a lot of other skills that are part of that. General seamanship, whether it be plotting a course or being able to navigate through the waterways, this is something that is learned as an example through this whole process. First aid afloat, which is different than first aid on land, okay? Sometimes you have to do a little bit different than you would if you were on land, versus being out at sea. So that is the first aid that's needed. This is very important for the youth to really get a grasp on. And that's different than you would get in a troop or a crew. Teamwork and discipline go hand in hand in this regard. It's so important that when you're away from land to have those skills. They're very critical to the success of any adventure you're having at sea. That's the neat thing about it. The teamwork that you get is intense, and the leadership that comes out of that is well earned. Now, all of this experience can be relatable back to what they're going to be doing later in life. Say, for instance, they're interested in the Navy. Being a Sea Scout is a natural to get all of those basic skills down. You hone them a little bit more when you're in the Navy or even Coast Guard. So this is something that can be done. That's the wonderful thing about Sea Scouts, is that the basics are there. And you're going to use that in your profession with being in the Navy or the Coast Guard. So important. Now, even if you don't choose those career paths, you may decide to be a professional somewhere. Teamwork, that learning of what to do in an emergency, how things are to happen so that things don't go worse. Okay, you want to make them better. That's the thing. Those are some of the skills, team building skills, real life team building skills that'll be used for a lifetime.
Hey, before we go any further, I want to make sure that you know that you are invited to the campfire chat meeting we have each month on the first Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. We get together around the campfire and talk about all kinds of scouting issues, and you have a reserved seat in the chat where you can ask questions of anyone on the live show. So you don't want to miss it. Let me take a moment to just thank all of the patrons on Patreon. They've been financially supporting this podcast for quite some time. Also, I want to thank all of the members of the YouTube channel that have also been supporting financially what we do here. If you have a moment, you can definitely check us out at ScouterStan.org. Okay, now that you got the information, let's head on back.
Now, the Quartermaster Award is an actual medal, just like the Eagle for an Eagle Scout. It's an actual physical medal. Of course, it also has a corresponding knot. This is the square knots that adult uniforms wear. In a Sea Scout ship, I believe the youth wear them on that uniform. Insignia guide again to make sure that you're staying within the guidelines. I do not believe there is a youth patch, just like there's a youth patch for the Eagle Scout. I don't believe that there is a youth patch for Quartermaster. There should be, but I have not seen one. So it's been there might be. There might have been one in the past that just I haven't seen recently. It's a rare thing. But always remember that a Quartermaster can be worn on civilian wear. You can actually put the medal on there. If you're at a court of honor, Sea Scouts, and you're not in uniform, you're in a suit or something, as long as it's appropriate, you could put that on there, just like if you were an Eagle Scout. And you could wear both. I know of two people that I know of that are Eagle and Quartermaster. They've earned both. So they can wear both of them. Now, the rarity and respect of a Quartermaster and Eagle Scouts, very similar. But I was stunned by some of the research. In 2023, that was the year we actually have numbers for, there were only 40 Quartermasters awarded. 40 for the nation. In relationship to that, 50,000 Eagle Scouts. So there's a major difference. So when you hear people going on and on about 4%, 2%, 3%, that's based on I don't know where they get those numbers. That's probably based on a very small sampling of Scouts. Yes. But you have to think about all of the youth in the United States. And that's about 26 million youth in the United States that actually have the ability to join a unit, go through the process, and actually earn this award. So it's a really tiny percentage. It's not even a whole number. So that's the thing about how rare this is, and it should be highly respected. Now, granted, keep this in mind. Eagle Scout is a very huge achievement for youth. So is Quartermaster. They should both be looked upon with favorability because they are rare, really rare. When you look at those numbers, it's amazing. The value beyond scouting is immeasurable because the youth get so much out of this program. Sea Scouts, whether troops or whatever, they get so much out of it that they can carry on in a profession, okay, as they go through education, if they need that, or whatever vocation or whatever type of future that youth is looking for. The discipline, the teamwork, all of the different awards and different things that they do as a scout, they carry with them. And it really makes a difference. They're better students. They tend to be better employees. They tend to be better managers. This is something we carry forward. And we see this on a regular basis. So always keep that in mind. Achieving different awards or achieving as much as you possibly can is great. You need to do that because that is what your trajectory, your future is going to be like. You're going to be able to achieve things and get better and better and better. So that's the thing about scouting. We're making a better America one scout at a time, whether they're in Sea Scouts or with a venturing crew or in a troop or in a pack. Doesn't matter. We are trying to help young people achieve and therefore take that on to the future. That's a major accomplishment. Just knowing somebody that's done that. Maybe have them come and talk to the troop or come and talk to the pack or den. Think about that. That'd be a good guest speaker. They could tell you about all their adventures and things that they've done. That's a wonderful thing. So if you've done something like that or think that's a great idea, if you don't think it's a great idea, let me know. Just put it in the comments. I do read all the comments and try to reply as fast as I can. And I really would love seeing that. We do a lot for our scouts, and it's important that we keep moving forward, helping our scouts achieve whatever goals they set. They may not set a whole lot of goals unless you're there, okay? So you might want to help them in that regard. But still, we can help them achieve, and that is one of those wonderful things that you do on a regular basis. I'm very proud of you being a scout leader. Keep up that good work. We're building America one scout at a time, okay? That's the wonderful thing about scouting. Regardless if it's Sea Scouts or a crew or a troop, pack, what have you, whatever division you're in, we are helping America's youth achieve. And that's so critical, especially today. So we need to have more and more of that. Until next time, I'll see you on the trail.